Okay, this is the October series of seminars by Andrew Smith, first starting with the gate.
Okay, so we did some daily Riva guard stuff, did some kind of advanced stuff tonight. Start from the closed guard, double sleep control. John goes to stand up, however he wants to stand up, doesn't really matter. Open my guard up here, right foot goes to the hip. Left foot I want to put a hook, but I need to move myself over so I can kick, here, pivot, and hook. I try to make sure I'm sitting on his foot here. My left hand, I can do a lot of things from here, but I'm going to pick this one. My left hand's going to go to his foot. I make sure again that I'm firm on his leg here. I'm just going to go for my basic number one sweep. I'm just going to push his knee out first here to stretch the guy. Boom. After I stretch him, I'm going to block his knee over here. Pull.
Let me catch that. Let me catch the footwork there. You're going to block to go from what to what now?
So I push
out,
and then I just block.
Block the knee. Okay, thank you.
And I'm going to pull here and turn here. As he falls, I hip forward, keep a hold of the foot, hop over his knee here, and follow through to the mount position. Once again, I've still got the sleeve under control, so I can always attack his arm over here, whatever I like. Sometimes when the guy gets to the daily Riva position, I'll go to push his knee out, and he'll base back kind of far. He won't just go over. So I'll turn here, and I'll pull his foot this way. Boom. And from here, I have a really good opportunity to get on the guy's back. So my right hook is just going to go inside here, and I'm going to pull him to me by controlling his hip. So from the basic one, I can go to his back. I can also control his leg underneath this way. And even go palm to palm here. The problem with palm to palm is that I leave my other foot open. So I need to hide my foot behind his leg here. And I'm going to turn his knee carefully, pulling it out. Climbing up the guy, but keeping his foot. I can control the collar. I can control the collar this way. This is the best way. Boom, stretching the guy out. And then finally, putting that last hook in. Ready to finish the guy. I almost always finish the guy from here, get him this far. So, slightly less nasty. I just kick out. Shoot my legs through here and then crisscross. Through here I have a lot of options. Okay, I can try to push the guy backwards. When he resists, I pull forward, drop him, nice and easy. Okay. Cut the knee here, underhook here. Step backwards into side control on the guy. From the same position, I can try to take him forward. Sometimes the guy will pull this way. When he's pulling this way, he wants to sit down, so I slide my right foot down to his ankle and push. So from here, I can disengage and fall into the top. Get my underhook, finish the pass that way. Or, if I want to get fancy, I can grab his belt here, drop him back the same way. Follow here. The key to that position is to keep my legs crisscrossed. Is that it? Do one more.
Yeah, we did the one where you...
Oh, regular back kick. Smaller chain. Okay, so the last one. This time, I'm just going to feed this hand here. Just stuff it through and grab it from the other side. Kind of a near side ball and chain. This hand just going to go up to the belt. with a lapel choke or just get the hooks and have the harness in. A little bit simpler. And that was it for the gi stuff. There we go. Okay, for the no gi stuff, we worked with triangle. Mostly focusing on the finish, but focusing on a few other details too. With this setup, the main idea is I want to isolate one arm and control the wrist on the other arm. So one simple way I can do this is just to block his arm out of the way like this, make a shield with my arm and sit up. And as I sit up, I crunch the arm in, kick my leg over, feet it through, and lock up my triangle. Here, crossing the legs, hips up, arm over, pull it back in, head, shin, and when I grab my shin, I want to make sure that the blade of my hamstring points against his carotid artery. So one way that I can do that that's really effective is point my knee inward this way, and then big circle over it. You know I have a live bite on John's neck, as you can kind of see here, he's already about to tap. So I put my foot on his hip now and I pivot. When I pivot, my foot comes forward. Other detail for finishing here, I want to make sure that my toes point towards his back, not this way, but like this. Now I make my leg like a hinge. In other words, this knee goes this way, here, opens out. I stay flush with my ankle here. So I don't make space, I don't go like this to jump over. Okay, that's enough space for a good guy. If he whips his arm out here, he can quite possibly do that. Then he passes my guard. Instead, I go here, out, jump over, and then close it. No space. Toes pointing slightly towards the back, live toes, knees together, ready to finish the guy. Okay? I can also finish it like this. I'm going over a lot of the finishing details now because this is for video format. Coming underneath like this, plugging here and doing a crunch. Other setups we went over, basic stuff. Instead of doing this, just to swim, I can attack his elbows to flare, pull my knees up and forward, puts his hand on the mat, I hip out and grab an overhook. First one I go inside, control this way, and I do a jump rope triangle here. Okay. Second one, I try to do that when he hides his arm in the middle, so I stuff it just like before, and hop over it. Third one, instead of just stuffing it, I control my own wrist this way. And now I'm just pushing down. I need to hip out to the side like that so that I can leap over it pretty easy. Jump in the triangle, leave my right hand behind. Right hand scrapes out, left hand stays to block. I got my triangle locked up. A lot of times I can finish it right here just by squeezing my knees together because it's really tight. Same thing, butterfly guard. He grabs an underhook. I take an overhook. My overhook is very active. My hand is up like this. Reaching down, controlling the wrist, control my own wrist. And I'm going to try to sweep John first instead of just going for it. So I try to sweep him, he resists. My left foot is going to come out first. Here. Then my right foot comes out. And again, I can quite often finish it here. If not, hips up, arm over, the whole 9 yards. Other pretty easy ones, scissor half guard here like this. Underhook. I control the overhook. Wrist control, stretch out. Okay. If I can get this one, I can do this one too, but in other words, I'm going to stretch them out like this. Boom. Right leg is going to come through the middle first. Here. Left leg pops out, and I catch the triangle that way. Now, from any of these setups, the guy might hide his arm. And there's a lot of stuff I can do. The more basic stuff is going to involve just lifting my hips up, grabbing his arm, and pulling it out. Okay? But sometimes when I do that, he's hiding his arm really well. So I try to do it, and I can't get my hand underneath my hips. One way I can get my hand underneath my hips is I can switch my legs here, this way, and that makes some room for me when I lift my hips up. My hips are no longer in the way. So I can slide underneath here and grab his arm for a reverse shoulder lock, a reverse arm lock, or just switch back and catch the triangle again. Sometimes the guy will hide his arm so good I can't get it, or I just want to make the highlight reel or whatever. So I palm his head and push it here, and I climb up. One thing I can do to make that easier is I can grab a hold of his elbow. And I'm looking to get my hips on the back of his head and figure four my legs like this. Climb all the way up. Roll the guy over to my right. And I want to make sure that this big space that I have right here goes away. So I'm going to bring my shin in front of his neck. I hip it out to the side here like this. Bang. My shin is under his chin. I know that I've got a good choke here. There's a squeeze, but the easiest way to finish it is always to grab the leg, fall to my left, and to push my hips forward here. From the same position, sometimes I have gis in my way, so I push them out of the way. Here, maybe I don't want to climb all the way up and over. I don't feel like I can reverse the guy, or I try to roll him and he's not going anywhere. So I'm going to take my left arm and dive underneath his legs here like this, okay? So if I build a little momentum and then I shoot back through, it's easier for me to get sometimes. And now it's the same thing. I'm going to pull his knee in and push my hips forward here. Boom. And get that triangle. And that's it for the triangle stuff as far as I can recall. We did do a little bit of reverse daily Riva stuff we didn't go over. But just behind the reverse daily Riva stuff, even though we were using the gi, I just want to give you guys the main idea. He's trying to cut the knee across. I want to capture, you're going to be over here for a second, Rich, okay? You're actually going to get both sides of this, but first I want to capture my own leg this way so that when he tries to push the knee to the mat, he can't do it. And the second thing is from this side now, I'm looking to have my knee behind my heel, okay? So I can bump him forward this way. It's a dramatic bump. At the same time, he hunts for the underhook. I'm going to bump so that I can get my own underhook and come up ready to take the guy down. Sometimes the same thing will sort of happen where he's driving that knee forward and I'm able to redirect his knee here, boom, to the side. And that's when I'll go to the half and play my game from there. And I can also dive underneath this way, make some space here, roll through to the guy's back here. Kicking forward, swing through, however you want to get the guy's back from there is fine. We did a couple of gi specific ones, but I think that's pretty much the main idea behind what we did. You'll remember the unstoppable sweep, yeah? Okay. That's pretty much it.
Thank you very much.